All right, it's time to pick the winner of the Super Bowl. As you guys know, I'm an Eagles fan, so you already know who I'm going to pick. But I'm going to break it down for you guys. Now, if you guys can remember, on the channel, I, maybe a month or so ago, picked the Philadelphia Eagles to represent the NFC and the Kansas City Chiefs to represent the AFC. Boy, was I correct. Now, I should have bet on it, right? Let's talk about the nuances of the game and what I think it's going to take. First of all, I'm picking the Eagles to win it. I'll give you the score at the end. But actually behind me, I was looking at some old film of the Super Bowl when the Kansas City Chiefs actually played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we all thought it was going to be a good game. And what ended up happening is Tampa Bay ended up dominating that game. And I kind of think, not to say that they're going to dominate the Eagles, but I kind of think that the Eagles have the personnel and the capabilities of mimicking that same game plan. What was that game plan, right? Now, it was pretty much just, rushing four down linemen, getting pressures off the edge, right? Even though they had Ndamukong Suh, they had Shaq Barrett coming off the edge. They had Levante David, who was on Kelsey, but was, sticking him before he got 5 yards and playing very tight coverage on him. Two double high safeties, and they were getting pressure from the four down linemen, specifically from the outside. Now, why is that important? Why do I think the Eagles can duplicate that game plan? When you look at the strengths and the weaknesses of Kansas City's offensive line, the strength is more so in the middle. Creed Humphrey, the other brother over there, that's solid. Creed Humphrey is the number one rated center in the league, even above Philadelphia's Jason Kelsey. But when you go to the outsides, the tackle position, you got Brown there. And you got the other tackle that's going to be matched up against Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, when he comes in, Hassan Reddick, 19-plus sacks, and whoever else they rotate, on those edges, and I think advantage Eagles. Now, I think that once that pressure starts to come off the edge, and let's say the Eagles don't get there, he's going to be moving up in that pocket. But who do you have up there? You got Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, Linval Joseph, Ndamukong Suh, who already wreaked havoc against Mahomes in a couple Super Bowls ago. So I think advantage Eagles. I think they follow the same game plan. And this is where, you got guys in the secondary. The secondary is completely healthy. Avonte Maddox still kind of nursing that toe injury, but Avonte Maddox is looking great. And when Avonte's in, our defense looks totally different. So you got, your big play players, big play Slay, top 5 cornerback, James Bradbury, all pro, top 5 cornerback against their corners. I do expect their receivers, I do expect their receivers to make a couple of plays here and there, but ultimately, I expect a shutdown effort from the Eagles receivers. This is why they're getting paid 10, 15, 17, $20 million, per year. It's for games like this. And when you look at it, Bradbury has been solid. Slay has been solid. These are not guys that you want to throw more than 5 passes to. So then you say, okay, let's go to the slot. You got Avonte Maddox in there, who was one of the best slot corners in the league. So the key matchup for the Eagles is going to be, for me, is if you can stop the run, and somehow try to neutralize or double team or take out Kelsey, I think you win the game. I don't think there's enough magic for Mahomes, who is nursing that injury, that high ankle sprain. So if you're the Eagles, you want to get after him. I'm not saying any cheap shots. You want to get after him. You want to put his in the dirt. And that's just football. Guys nursing, and even if he's not nursing an injury, we coming for you. So you better get that ball out. So I just don't see it being a good combination. Do I think they're going to make plays? Yeah. But ultimately, I think that the Eagles are going to be just too much on defense. But also, I do see a scenario, and I think the Eagles' defensive line is the key to this game. If they're able to hold up, meaning the Chiefs' offensive line, they're able to seal those edges off, be stout in the middle, I think that opens up an opportunity for those guys, to keep the game at least close. Now, let's talk about the other side of the ball, right? Which Kansas City, the ranking of defense not that high, but as of late, the defense has been stepping up. However, I think, and this goes both ways, when you don't actually play a team, you're looking at film, you're not actually on a field with the team, I think things get a little crazy when you get in there. San Francisco 49ers, top defense, did a great job, but at the end of the day, they couldn't stop the RPO. It was just too much for them to stop, and I think the same thing happens today with Jalen Hurts. I think it becomes too much. I don't think they had the personnel to stop it. So the key for the Eagles on offense is going to be to run the ball, pound the rock, right? And take your opportunities in the passing game when they arise. Like if you're Jalen Hurts, you can't miss like you missed Brown last week, right? You got Brown, AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith, you got Goddard. Those guys need to cook. But ultimately, I think you're pounding a rock, right? I think you're going right at Chris Jones. I think you're beating these guys into submission. That's what I think the game plan is going to be. They're going to pass it. They're going to mix it up. But I think if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, what you want to do is you want to pound the rock, keep converting on second and third downs, keep Mahomes off the field as much as possible, because when he's on the field, things can happen, right? He can get out of something and find somebody streaking, right? Things could happen. So you want to, minimize the chances that he has. And I'm sure they're going to be trying to do the same thing. I'm sure that they're going to, try to feed the running back. And we know what Andy, he gets, he doesn't like to stick around with the run. But I think it's just all in all, it's going to be a tough game for Kansas City to win. I just really do. I've been nervous going into a lot of these Eagles games, but they have showed up and showed out, the Philadelphia Eagles. I ain't gonna lie, it even beating the brakes off San Francisco. We knocked that quarterback out, and we knocked the other quarterback out. That's sheer physicality, and I think the same type of physicality needs to happen this week. We need to put Mahomes' dick in the dirt. When Kelsey catches that ball, somebody needs to light his shit up, period. It ain't going to be no jumping around, jumping over guys and high stepping. No. If you catch the ball, we're going to put your dick in the dirt. Meaning guys like Chauncey coming over the middle, Reed Blankenship coming over and saying, welcome to Philadelphia over that middle. You want to catch the ball, you're going to pay. You want to run the ball, you're going to pay. That's the attitude, right? Catch it at your own risk. You need to make guys think twice before thinking they're going to catch the ball over the middle and whatnot. But, you're going to get his plays. They'll make their plays. But ultimately, I see it being a thriller. I see the Eagles winning this game 31-23. Philadelphia 31-23. I'm going to a parade this week. Book it.